Hello, Namaskar, welcome you to the SAAR analysis. I am Chaman Naik and here's my take. There's a perception in geopolitics that neutrality means weakness. If you are not loudly standing on one camp, you are standing for nothing. But India is attempting to prove opposite, and here's a question for you. How many countries today can host China, Russia, Iran in one room while simultaneously remain one of America's most important strategic partners? Well, the answer is very few, and India is one of them. Data point on the screen: four powers, four conflicting interests, and one table on New Delhi. Well, the China, Russia, Iran, and India are sitting not as the diplomats arriving for the photographs or the formal statement. They are the officials who manage borders, intelligence networks, military escalation, energy security, and most importantly, the deal with the nation's survival. Well, the immediate agenda is Iran after a period of conflict, fragile diplomatic engagement, and rising uncertainty across West Asia. But this story is deeper than India because India is currently doing something that most powers have failed to do. It is engaging with Washington without abandoning Moscow. It is working with Tehran without becoming isolated from the West. It is competing with China on the border while keeping China on the diplomatic room. It is working with Russia without abandoning West. And it is using BRICS not as an anti-West slogan but as a platform to protect India's own strategic space. This is what India's diplomacy unusually difficult and unusually valuable. For America, India is essential to indo-pacific balance. For Russia, India remains a major partner that has not shut the door. For Iran, India remains access to trade, connectivity, and possible route beyond the regional isolation. For China, India is a strategic competitor for sure, but also a country too important to ignore. So this is where when the powers sit on the New Delhi, India is not simply playing the host, India is creating a diplomatic axis. And in the world where the countries are increasingly communicate through sanctions, tariffs, military exercise, and missile strikes, access has become a form of power. Well, the expected engagement between Ajit, Doval, and Wang Yi is especially significant. India and China may remain divided over the border, but New Delhi understands a hard geopolitical truth. You cannot solve the dangerous rivalry by ending communication. You can manage it by keeping the communication alive even when the trust is low. And India knows it better, and the India's formula depend on compete, cooperate, and never become dependent. Now here's my take. India's rare success is not every major power agrees with. They do not. Well, India's success that every major power still needs a conversation with. Well, that is the difference between being participant in the world geopolitics and becoming the diplomatic center of gravity. The real test is not whether this meeting produces a grand declarations on Iran or not. The real test is whether India can keep its strategic independence while the world becomes more divided, more militarized, and most importantly, more transactional. And that brings to the next question: can India remain the bridge between the rival powers, or it will pressure to choose the side eventually become impossible to resist? Let me know in the comment section, and that's all from today's analysis. I will be back with another episode. Till then, thank you for watching this.